This is Dan Dicks here reporting for Press for Truth with breaking news. The president of Iran is dead. He died in a helicopter crash yesterday. This footage is allegedly showing him sitting in the same helicopter that he died in just moments before the crash. Here we have the supreme leader, the Ayatollah of Iran, saying, "With deep sorrow and regret, I have received the bitter news of the martyrdom of the people's president, the competent, hard-working Hajj Sayyid Ebrahim Raisi and his esteemed entourage." Here we see footage of men allegedly carrying out the body of the Iranian president following this crash up in these mountainous regions where obviously you can see it's intense fog, very, very dense up there. This footage just shows just how bad it was. I mean, these guys could barely see their own hands in front of their faces. The fog is so unbelievably dense. And despite these clear weather conditions going on here, interestingly enough, guys, the Islamic Republic News Agency suggested that this helicopter crash happened due to a technical failure. Even though obviously the fog was so dense, you could, like I said, hardly even see your own hand in front of your face, yet they are claiming it's due to a technical failure. Now, this is on a helicopter that is U.S. made, and some of these are upwards of 50 years old. In fact, we're finding out that the one that the Iranian president was on was a 4-decade-old U.S. made helicopter that ended up crashing into this mountain and completely just disintegrating upon impact, it is believed. So now, obviously, the question is rising. Will the Iranian president's death trigger a larger civil war here? Because you've also got his successor, who may be replacing him, who was sanctioned by the West for nuclear activities and who agreed to supply Russia with a deadly arsenal in order to attack Ukraine. And obviously, in the midst of all these escalating tensions with Israel and what's been going on between them and Iran and everything in the Gaza Strip, Israel is now, claiming that they had nothing to do with this. Israel insists it wasn't us after Butcher of Tehran, Iranian president, is killed in a mysterious helicopter crash a month after ordering missile attacks on the Jewish state, while the Islamic regime supports Hamas in the Gaza war, guys. So we're going to be talking about all of this and much, much more in this video. But really quickly, before we do, I'd ask you to check me out here at this Go Get Funding campaign, to where you can support my efforts to go expose the Bilderberg conference coming up in Madrid, Spain in 2024, guys. You can click that top link in the description below if you want to support my efforts. The 2024 Bilderberg Conference is being held in Madrid, Spain from May 30th to June 2nd. PFT will be there to provide the extensive coverage that you've come to expect from PFT. Your contributions will go towards helping with the costs of flights and accommodations while covering the world's most secretive meeting held by some of the world's most powerful and influential people. If that's something that you guys want to contribute to, please check that top link in the description below. Thank you so much to everybody who takes 1 minute today to contribute to my efforts to expose Bilderberg in Spain, coming up in just 7 days from now. All right, guys, let's start with this. Israeli officials have declared that they had nothing to do with this devastating helicopter crash that killed Iranian President Raisi yesterday. Obviously, they're going to have to make a statement following the back and forth that has been happening since October 7th with Israel and the Iranian regime, and we'll get into that. But first, let's look at this. Raisi 16 was confirmed dead by Iranian media today, along with his foreign minister and others who were on there. He had some security guards who perished as well. Drone footage from Iranian and Turkish news agencies revealed that the helicopter had smashed apart on landing, while clips shared by the Iranian Red Crescent showed solemn rescuers carrying the corpse on covered stretchers out of the forest surrounding the crash site. That's this footage that you're seeing here of them allegedly carrying the body of the Iranian president out, on a stretcher here. And as we see here, it says it smashed apart on landing. This, kind of information has led many to speculate that it was the sanctions that the U.S. has placed, particularly on Iran's aviation industry, which has led to, them having to use 40, 50-year-old helicopters and not getting proper parts and all this sort of stuff. But again, let's not forget, the fog was so dense they couldn't even see their own hands in front of their faces. So it's still, it really remains to be seen what is the cause of this. But nonetheless, the powers that ought not be are certainly going to use this to their advantage to continue to gain a tight grip of control in the Middle East. The incident sparked a wave of speculation as to the cause of this crash, with many theorists pointing the finger directly at Israel. The nation is at war with Tehran-backed Hamas in Gaza. Tensions boiled over in April when Israel and Iran exchanged rounds of a direct drone and missile strikes. Of course, I reported on that back in April in this video. Israel is readying imminent attack on Iran, while Americans are panic searching World War III and can I be drafted? Israel is considering whether to go big with their attack against Iran, as tensions in the Middle East continue to escalate following Iran's attack on the Jewish state over the weekend. And that, attack really seemed to be more so for show, because not only did they announce essentially that it was going to happen, they told the world that they were going to do it. They told the Americans that they were going to do it. But not only that, but these missiles literally took like hours to reach their target, and they were easily shot down by Israel. Now, let's not forget the fact that, when that incident happened on October 7th, the whole world was immediately pointing the finger at Hamas without realizing that Hamas is a creation of Israel with the help of the CIA. And as I reported on back when it happened, you better believe that the Israeli intelligence knew full well that the Iranian regime was planning to do exactly that, and they allowed it to happen so as to be able to retaliate and do what they've been doing in the Gaza Strip. And so now we've had tensions, escalating, and drones and missiles being sent back and forth, and all of a sudden we get to this point of this helicopter crash. Well, I don't think it's necessarily going to change a lot within Iran right now, because obviously that has a lot to do with who is going to be replaced. They have this guy in mind, Mohammed Mogbecker, I don't know how you pronounce it, but he was sanctioned by the West for nuclear activities and agreed to supply Russia with the deadly arsenal to attack Ukraine. So either way, it could be him. It could even be, the supreme leader's son. Either way, it doesn't really matter. Either way, this is the guy who is ultimately in charge of Iran. And either way, there is a power struggle here, where you've got, Russia, China, Iran up against Israel, the U.S., and NATO and their allies. So whether or not this was a technical error, as is being reported on, like here, by the Islamic Republic News Agency, or whether or not this truly was caused by dense weather and dense fog, I mean, we may never find out. But bottom line is, Israel, NATO, the U.S. will use this to continuously further destabilize the region in order to fully take it over. They've had Iran in the target, in the crosshairs for decades. Syria as well. Let's not forget what just happened a week ago with the Slovakian prime minister being shot. And I reported on that, as well as the leaked German documents that ended up revealing plans for World War III. If you missed that, guys, check it out. Prime Minister of Slovakia, Robert Fico, had an assassination attempt on his life, and he was shot multiple times following a meeting with government officials. This guy was vocal about rejecting the World Health Organization's pandemic treaty, and he also supported Russia. He rejected sending arms to Ukraine, and all this was being done while he was a leader of a NATO country that was bordered with Ukraine. Again, this all plays part into what we're seeing now. And like I said in this report, meanwhile, secret documents from the German Ministry of Defense revealed a step-by-step doomsday guide on how Russia was going to escalate the conflict in Ukraine to an all-out war in just 18 months. Again, if you haven't seen that report, guys, be sure to check it out. But tensions are obviously continuing to brew here, and this latest, crash, as we said, whether it's from technical failure through sanctions, whether it was a directed attack, whether it was caused by dense fog, remains to be seen. We simply do not know at this stage in the game. But what we do know is that who gains to benefit from these types of things? It's NATO and their allies, Israel and the U.S., who are going to continue to use this to try to destabilize the region by either putting in a very easily controllable puppet, or by just continuing to escalate things between Iran and Israel to cause a greater conflict that could potentially spark World War III. I don't want to sound, alarmist with these kinds of, words and headlines, but this is where we're at. This is the reality, guys. So just wanted to bring all of this to your attention today. Be sure to check the links in the description for all of this if you want to check it out for yourself. Also, don't forget to check me out here, a Go Get Funding campaign where I'm trying to raise some funds. I'm going either way. I will be there, but I really could use your financial support to help me with going to expose, these kind of groups that are putting together all the kind of plans that we're seeing unfold in the world today. So once again, if you do appreciate my efforts to do this kind of work, please check that top link in the description below. And that's all for today, guys. Just wanted to bring this to your attention. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to click the thumbs up button, share this video, and stay tuned, guys. We're going to have more video reports coming soon, God willing. This is Dan Dicks reporting for Press for Truth. We all want truth. The truth will set you free.